everyone, it's Matt here with Draki and the Goofs, and today I'd like to talk to you about alchemy. Alchemy is a way to increase your power of your weapons. In this game, you're only allowed to have one weapon type, and I kind of want to show you what you should be targeting, what some of the terminology means, and the overall best way to do that, and to make your team as powerful as possible. Alright, so let's just go into alchemy here. So, it is in the party section and alchemize equipment. So, in this game, it is unique compared to some other games where you can only have one type of weapon or armor, and every time that you get multiples of, you will unlock and get a chance to increase the weapons or armor stats through alchemy. And as you get higher in the ranks, you get obviously stronger weapons and stronger rolls, but you also get much more specific rolls as well, which could lead to a very strong weapon or a weapon that's only useful for one or two of your units. So, an S-ranked weapon, Dragon Lord Staff, you have a very specific skill set for specific units that have the highest one. So you could see here that it gives 28 wisdom, has no restrictions. Its special effect, it gives 5% frizz type spell potency. And you can see I rolled here 11% total of Hellfire Blast potency. Normally, I'm not a huge fan, but because this is the best staff for Dragonlord, and I do have Dragonlord, and his best skill is Hellfire Blast, that I'm actually okay with being very specific. Now, when we're looking at, you can look at the alchemy draw, and almost always slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3 are the same. Now, I want to state something very specific here. You see the first two lines, and these are the rainbow rolls, which are the rarest. Frizz type spell potency plus 4%, Frizz type spell brilliant plus 5%. So the potency of Frizz spell type is 1% less than a brilliant. And mad, what is the difference? And the difference is actually very large. So for the Frizz type spell potency, it is only it's only 1% less than the brilliant, and here it's at 4%. So that gives you 4% more potency or more damage. So if you take a look at like when you do your upgrade abilities, the potency plus 5 or potency plus 6, it is a direct addition to the damage. So it gives you 4% more damage. Frizz type spell brilliant though here gives you 5%, and this 1% is only effective when the enemy or unit that you're fighting against is weak against Frizz type spells. So to me, that 1% difference doesn't make it nearly as useful as having the potency. And personally, I think Frizz type spell potency plus 3% is still better than the 5%. But you could check here, and you could see that all of the rainbows for the S-type are very specific. Hellfire Blast potency is plus 6, the highest one, because it's only one skill, and that skill can right now only be used by Dragonlord himself. So it's very specific to Dragonlord, but if you have Dragonlord, this is, I think, the best one out of all of them here. Then you have the gold. You just have -1 to all of these special types. And then you have Wisdom plus 10, Wisdom plus 9, you know, your MPs and agilities. And then you've got the -2 from the rainbows here, etc. for down here, and then bronze. So you can see here that there isn't nearly as much stats for the S, and instead there's skills and or spell types. And so that's what you're going to see with the S and A weapons, that they are crafted specifically for units. And those units are generally going to be pretty powerful and are going to enjoy those weapons, but they're not going to be. B weapons tend to be useful for any unit, etc. A weapons are more used for families or spell types, and S units are designed for more than like a couple of units. So yes, they do lead to a lot more power, and so here we'll go with A. We have only two, and each of these slots here are the same. Only two rainbows. They're Frizz type physical potency and Frizz type breath potency. So for the fire weapon here, that you only get two rainbows, and they are very specific. I I'm okay with actually the Frizz type breath potency. The Frizz type physical potency is again very limited on the units that can use that. The breath type though opens it up a bit more. But if you have a Frizz type physical unit that you want to equip that weapon to, then obviously you'll target that. Other than I just don't have the unit that can use it, hence why I am not a fan of it as much as the breath type potency, which I've got multiple units that can do it. I don't see any major differences here. And then you can see that in the gold you've got actually less choices, but you've got the attack and agility here, etc., all the way down. So the A units here, this is Frizz type, as I say, so this is an elemental type, and it's more based on physical or breath, which are two different attack types. Next one here is Con for Claws. This one I've only got one of, obviously, right now. This is something that you get from the Battle Roads. This is from the Nature Battle Roads. You can see that it gives Nature Agility plus 26, Nature Breath Brilliant plus 3%. I'm not a huge fan of the Brilliant, but that's what I've got. And the Nature Breath Potency plus 4. But at least this Breath Brilliant is a little less picky. I would rather have had Nature Breath Potency, but from what was given to me, I will take it for now. This is actually something that I'm using specifically for my hybrid. So it's got very high agility with the nature. And the Breath Brilliance, at least, can be used. Yeah, right now it's on my slime, but I was spending my time on Battle Road. So I just equip whatever weapons that automated there to give them as much boost as I can. And I'll just go through one more here. Foliage Foil. The Rammer Hammer here is the Inorganic Martial Potency, which is another type of skill attack. So there are 4 different types of attack, and I'll go over that in a later video here. If you look at the draw here, you've got Potency and Brilliant. Once again, make sure that unless if you're only going to be using this unit because it has skills that are weak against, focus on the Potency and leave Brilliance behind. It is just not worth that 1% for that. And notice that these are for families, for the inorganic family, so anyone that's inorganic would love this weapon. Otherwise, the only thing it's good for is the attack here, which sometimes is good enough. As you can see, it's not equipped to inorganic because it's still giving me 22 attack, which is still very high. But if you put it to that specific bonus, all of a sudden it goes from 22 to 36. And then if it's got a martial and it's brilliant against the martial, which I think is one of the worst effects because most of the brilliant martial effects are non-elemental effects. Some of them have elements though, but I would say there are more martials that are non-elemental than elemental. But that's the role that was given to me for this one, so you take it. Now let's just go back here and show what you can get here. I've already rolled all of my B's and A's and C's. or sorry, S's. And so let's do some C's here. We'll do this real quick. You can max up to 5 materials at a time. It'll give you the 10 here. You can see that I got Physical Brilliant plus 2% attack plus 5. I haven't focused that much on the Iron Club, but let's see if I can get it better. So you'll be given 5 opportunities here, 5 different rolls. Ooh. So you know what? I do not like the plus 2% for the brilliant for physical. Uh, I'd actually rather have the HP. I was actually hoping for a higher effect. So I'm actually going to replace the physical brilliant here, 2%, with the attack here. And now I'm going to do this one more time. Hopefully get a better. Physical brilliant. Oh. Attack 5 HP. Brilliant. Brilliant. Some people might say, hey, this is a really good roll. As I say, I'm not a huge fan of the plus 2% because it's only for brilliance. I'd rather have it for everybody, especially since this is a lower level, and I'm most likely just going to put this on a non-specific unit. So for my C's, I'm going to have General, and just so you can see what the options here is, anytime you get that, it's just a Brilliant, and you get the Brilliant plus 1. I was really hoping for attack plus 6, but you have your C's here, and C's are very general, not the greatest. And let's take a look here at B before I go. So this is a Silver Rapier, mostly HP with a little bit of attack. So for the Alchemy here, you've got your Breath Brilliant for the Rainbow. Once again, not a huge fan of the rainbows of the bees here. I'm actually more of a gold type person. And making them more general, even though the attack, because this is a rapier, you're looking actually more for HP than you are for attack. So the HP plus 23 and 20, especially considered Breath Brilliant. Let's try to take pure attack. So where's an axe? Here's an axe. Oh, that one. Here we go. I just held that too long. Actually, I got a pretty good roll on that. As I say, 2% is pretty low. I feel that shooting for like the attack here or HP is better, but once again, if you want to go with the brilliance, that's fine. All in all, alchemy is something that is useful that you can improve your weapons, but I won't say completely breaks the game either. You also have your armor that could be alchemized too. The rainbows for the alchemy can be actually a little bit better. I kind of like this bang resist 1%. That's actually kind of useful. Even though it's only 1%, it can be the difference between life and death. Defense plus 4 and all that. The hobble and paralyzed resistance is also somewhat useful. These are actually less broken than the game itself because you can only equip one piece of armor, but they do just give you a little bit more ability to survive, which is all that you're really looking for armor. Alright, so this was a quick review of Alchemy, what you should be looking for. What do those words specifically mean, which is kind of specific. So I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful day, but more importantly, your slurps, slimes, and drakies are all even better. Good luck out there, travelers, and have fun.